do you think?
You know, this is a question I've been asked before. I keep giving a different answer to it every time. I certainly, basically I believe that women are people. And I was very much, in the 70s, I would have said instantly, yes, I'm a feminist writer, even though I'm a male, but I do recognize that I'm a male. And there's been a lot of waves of feminism. I don't want to, I'm hardly an expert on any of this stuff, so I'm sure there are women in the audience, and perhaps even some men in the audience who know far more about this stuff than I do. But there have been changes in the feminist movement since the 70s to the present. And I've had some women in the subsequent years tell me I can't be a feminist because I shouldn't use that term for myself because I'm a male. That only women can be true feminists and men can just be allies. And, well, okay, I'm not going to dictate anyone else's terminology to them. I certainly don't want to offend anyone by calling myself a feminist if that's an offensive thing for a man to do. I don't know, you know. But I believe there are differences between men and women, but I think the differences between men and women are very small compared to the similarities between men and women. You know, our common humanity gives us far more things that we share than the things that divide us, and I try to reflect that in my fiction. And both men and women have a great variety of individual personalities. So, like I've sometimes asked, well, how do you write women? I don't write women. I don't sit down and say, now I am going to write a woman. It's like, okay, now I'm going to write a chapter about Brienne. What would Brienne think about this? I'm going to write a chapter about Arya. I'm going to write a chapter about Cersei. They're very different from each other. The way that Cersei reacts to something is very different from the way that Brienne is going to react to something. They have different worldviews. They have different beliefs. They have different upbringings that have shaped them in fundamentally different ways. You know, the fact that they have certain genitalia in common, it should not be the dictating thing into how one writes them. So that's what I try to do. I try to write individuals, and some of them are male, and some of them are female, and in some of my other stories, some of them are, you know, vampires or werewolves or creatures from other planets, but I'm always trying to write individuals. But I do think in a book as big as A Song of Ice and Fire, where I have thousands of characters, I'm creating a whole world. Worlds have many different types of people in it, and it has male and female in about equal parts. It also has various ethnic groups, various religious groups, various sexual preferences, and I try to reflect all of that. Sometimes perhaps more successfully than other times.
And you are successful.